Welcome to today's morning report chart analysis videos with me, Rich Market analyst at Hantec Markets on Thursday the 7th of March. There's not a huge amount of movement around Forex majors today. We've got this ECB meeting this afternoon, which is sort of dominating, I think, the outlook or the fact that markets are consolidating, sort of waiting for this ECB decision. A little bit of a negative risk appetite that's crept through equities in the last few days. You've seen that where Wall Street indices have just started to roll over. There's a lack of real concrete news flow surrounding the trade discussions, and that I think is sort of meaning that in equity markets are just starting to sort of take a little bit more of a cautious view in the absence of lack of real clarity on that. And what we've seen is that sort of filtered through into European session again today. DAX back below its breakout level, 11,550 area. Was a breakout on the DAX, that's sort of back below that, and it's interesting to see if the market just drifts now for a little bit in the outlook of a continued positive move on equities on the medium term basis. But in terms of Forex, again, little movement, basically flat on euro, flat on cable, flat on dollar yen. Little bit of an uplift on Aussie and Kiwi after the recent selling pressure that we've seen through those currencies, but nothing too decisive with regards to that. Now we've also got treasury markets, treasury yields, which are basically flat, nothing really doing on the 10-year or the 2-year, slightly ticking lower. But as I said, that sort of reflects really the very slight cautious move on markets today. But as I said, nothing really decisive in terms of direction on the dollar or the Forex majors generally. So in terms of where we're looking out for the ECB, well, not a great deal really. It just depends on how the ECB comes across with its staff projections. A significant revision lower on the staff projection would be seen as dovish. Little real revision on inflation and growth forecasts would be seen as more of a hawkish element. But also the market will be looking out for signs of liquidity operation extensions through the teltros and the long-term refinancing operations there. How the ECB sort of does that, if it goes all out and goes for a long extension of the teltro, then that would be seen as a bit of a dovish hint. No real suggestion yet that they're going to change forward guidance on rates or for the deposit rate later this year. I think that's more likely to come in the summer meetings. But yeah, the ECB will still be a meeting today that I think the market does take notice of, especially around those forecasts for the staff projections. So that takes me to data points. Other data points, well, just really the weekly jobless claims at 1:30, which is expected to be 225, again in line with where we were last week. So my chart today is Euro Kiwi, which I think is an important chart in the fact that we've seen Euro Aussie and Euro Canadian both moving strongly in the favour of the euro in recent days, as those the Aussie and the Canadian loonie have weakened. Euro Kiwi, on the other hand, hasn't yet really moved, but it is starting to position for that move. It's broken this downtrend, it's broken effectively now a downtrend channel, and starting to position more positively. You've got the momentum indicators, which is just gradually ticking higher on the stochastics towards strong configuration. RSI is above 50, sort of at levels at which it sort of fell over around February. So this is key moment, I think. A move above the resistance initially at 67.25, which was last week's high, would start to generate a little bit more upside momentum, I think, in this move. You've got already an uptrend building here, a little shallow uptrend, and then you'd be looking at 67.50. Which is this resistance, and you've got 68.50 as a next pivot line. These are two levels I think that the market will be certainly looking out for. You can see here through the hourly chart, you've got a slightly more positive configuration that is beginning to leave higher lows on the chart. The recent reaction low at 66 figure area is important. Today's low 66.40. Again, a little bit of a higher low forming there as the market just starts to gradually pull higher. So is this on the brink of a similar move to what we saw through Euro Aussie and Euro Canadian? That would be the question. I think that something is building, but it is needing to break through the resistance to really generate that upside momentum. So that resistance at around sort of 67.50 to 67.60 area needs to be broken to really generate that move, and then you've got the 68.50 pivot line resistance. But certainly there is a slightly more improved outlook that we're seeing through the trend line that has now been broken. So I wish you good luck in your trading today, and I'll speak to you later.